Hello there, Internet. Ondo here. I've got another art video I'll be posting soon about storytelling through art, but in the meantime, here's a fun little video to hold you over. Today is themed around artist alleys. I first started being a convention artist in November of 2016, and since then I've averaged about 3 to 4 conventions a year. I've shared a single artist alley table, grouped up with friends in a booth or two, and eventually gone solo. Over all the different configurations and setups I've been in, my display and stock has evolved, and I found myself picking up a few tips and tricks of the trade. Like, always have extra tape and zip ties on hand for emergencies, and how to set up a detailed stock sheet. Convention days were always really exciting and nerve-wracking. Was I going to make a profit? Or even just my money back? What fun cosplays would I see? I've actually made a lot of friends and acquaintances through the convention scene who I always look forward to seeing when it's con time. But alas, my convention lineup for the past 1.5 years has been cancelled. With very good cause, mind you, but I can't help but feel a little wistful. I was pretty excited to vend at my first out-of-state convention. Against all odds, I was able to snag a spot at the Anime Expo Artist Alley, and this weekend marks the 2nd year that it's been postponed. But if you check out the website, you can find me in the Digital Artist Alley. Please do that, this is a plug. Now for a quick aside. I like pretzels. 6 thin, soft, I like them all. This is relevant to the video, I promise. Anyways, I was at the store one day looking for a bag of regular pretzels to snack on, but it seemed like the section was cleared out except for a bag of snaps, which I've never really had outside of a Chex Mix. But I figured a pretzel is a pretzel and grabbed that bag. Later I was eating them and I felt a little annoyed and nostalgic. It was the shape. It just... If you've never had the misfortune of putting one of these monstrosities together, the envy I feel is boundless. A philosopher once said that they wished for their casket to be constructed entirely of wire grids, so that they could be let down by them one final time. They're heavy, they're hard to snap into place, and the connectors always break, or go missing, or get mixed up with somebody else's. That's why I've labeled mine. And you always seem to be short a piece or two. Lots of people, myself included, try to get them to go as high up as they can go, making the structures incredibly unstable, especially if the connectors are loose. And it's not unusual to see one of these things fall over during con setup and sometimes during the show itself. In short, they suck. But sadly, they are one of the convention's staples for many creators like myself. So once my brain made this association, I couldn't stop thinking about it. From what I can see, nobody's done this before, so I'm going to build myself the first ever tiny edible artist alley in honor of Anime Expo weekend. I went to the store and procured many snack foods and candies for this project, and I'm feeling confident that I can make something that looks halfway decent. I don't know what gives me this confidence because frankly I do not know what I am doing, but who cares? Let's get decorating. Alright, so first things first is I gotta go make some tables. So I'm going to be using graham crackers for that, and they're a little bit too big for me to fit 3 across because I'm going to make 6 tables altogether. First, I measured out 3 crackers across to get an idea of how much to cut off. It was about 1/2 inch, so I used my cutting mat as a bit of a guideline and started cutting. I noticed the last bit seemed to crumble unless I braced it with my finger, then it cut beautifully. Now I'm going to have to put the legs on, and to do that, I'm going to get some pralines. These are my favorite. They're from Greece. They got like a nice hazelnutty flavor. I'm not being paid to say this. Wow, these ones are real broken. So I've got 6 tables, I need 4 legs. So that's going to be 24. Oh no! I dropped it. See if this works. I used a palette knife to trim everything down to size because I didn't feel like finding a regular knife. Okay, so next order of business is we're going to assemble the tables. And to do that, I need some frosting. Okay, so next order of business is making chairs. I'm going to be using pretzel sticks for the chair legs. I've got some Nilla wafers. I'm going to make a couple of stools because I always like to bring a stool with me when I'm going to conventions. And then the regular chairs, I'm going to be using these little Nutter Butter cookies. So let's go cut down some of these chair legs. Alright, so I got all my chair legs done. I guess it's time to assemble. I frosted the bottom of each cookie and plopped the pretzel sticks in place, then set them aside to sit a bit before I tried standing them up. Ultimately, the stools I made never really set enough to stand. The frosting also wasn't strong enough to hold the extra cookies in place to make chair backs, so instead of making Nutter Butter cookie chairs, they became Nutter Butter cookie stools instead. Alright, so next thing I'm going to be making is the wire grid storage unit whatevers. I once again used frosting to adhere the pretzel snaps together and placed them up against a box to dry in a 90-degree angle. Alright, so I ended up finding some edible paper online, and then I have these food coloring markers. So I'm going to draw up some art that I can display on my cube storage when it's done. After trimming down the edible paper, I started doodling and even assembled some little comic books by folding up the paper and holding the sheets together with frosting. You can't really tell I did that though, because I noticed during editing, my overhead camera angle was a lot further forward than I thought. I completely missed my bookmaking, so I guess imagine it. But I was able to get footage of some of the drawings and doodles I made later in the process. What I wouldn't give for a videographer. Next, I rolled out some Wilton colored fondant to make tablecloths. I'm not going to say it tasted like sugary Play-Doh, but the taste was certainly Play-Doh adjacent. After rolling, I sized up and trimmed the fondant so that one side would be extra long and reach the floor. Once I finished up the tablecloths, I started to arrange my tables, and the legs promptly fell off most of them. I ended up reinforcing the legs with a band of fondant, which surprisingly worked. After setting up the basic floor plan, I started to add in all the fixtures and decorations for each table. I finished off by using Elf Witch cookies and Pocky to create a display that I let sit overnight to set. So here's my mini artist alley. We have the plush booth, comic book artist, prints and buttons, more prints but with doodads and sketch commissions. This guy never showed up, and last but not least, the body pillow guys. Here's a quick look at the vendors' sides. Now my mini artist alley is open for all your favorite con-goers. Non-committal cosplayer, guy who built a working robot, confused chaperone, cardboard Gundam, roadblock photo magnet, and last but not least, a guy with undies on his head. So that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a fun one, but also I hated every second of it. My computer kept crashing. It was a nightmare. Please help me. My office is covered in frosting now.